Hey there, beer enthusiasts. Welcome to Beers That FITZ, the podcast where we dive into the world of craft beer, one brewery at a time. And I'm your host, Rob Fitz, and I'm here to bring you closer to the people behind your favorite brews. In each episode, we sit down with the passionate owners and talented brewmasters who make the magic happen, exploring their stories, inspirations, and unique flavors they bring to the table. Whether you're a seasoned beer connoisseur or just starting your craft beer journey, Beers That FITZ has something for everyone. So grab your favorite brew, sit back, and let's toast to good company and great beers. This is Beers That FITZ, where every story fits perfectly into the world of craft beer. Slanja. So, hey, Courtney. Hey, Hannah. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you guys coming on today to Beers That FITZ. We got a little flight here, and we're going to taste them and see what they are, because Courtney is not a beer drinker.
She is not.
I am not. Nope.
Courtney,
I have found beers I like, but not usually.
And so, Courtney, tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do, where you come from, and why you're not a beer drinker.
Sure. So I am originally from North Adams, Mass.
Okay.
Where there are lots of breweries. So people always assume that people from breweries have beer. I like cider. I will say that.
What's your favorite cider?
I definitely like Down East. I like that they have different types. But I'm not good at remembering things. I used to use the Untapped app, I think it's called, to track the different beers. And Old Sturbridge Village actually used to use their venue to do like a beer tasting event, which used to be really good. And there were a couple of local ones, but I think a lot of them have closed by this point. So I'm kind of a newbie to all things beer and cider.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Do you like your ciders dry or sweet?
Sweet, usually.
Sweet, yeah. And we got Hannah on again today. Thanks for coming back.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Always an excuse to drink.
And we really didn't get to dive in too much to you, Hannah. You are my wife, but tell us about yourself, where you come from, and, what kind of beers you like.
Ooh, all right. Well, since this is all about me right now. So I'm originally from East Longmeadow, Mass. And I am a behavior analyst, like my friend here, Courtney. We also have a podcast together every once called Wicked Wanderings Podcast, if you like spooky shit. So yeah, what else about me? I love beer. The beers I love usually are New England IPAs, double, triples, I like them all. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of like what my favorite hops is. Like I really like Mosaic and Citra. Those are usually my go-to. Sometimes I like a good stout or porter. But yeah, no, Irish red ale. I'm really not that picky. I'm only picky when it comes to sours. There's only like certain sours, like Kismet Brewing.
In Westfield.
Love their sours, hands down. But not usually a sour fan.
Yeah, Kismet is in Westfield, Massachusetts. I'm trying to get them on the podcast. So hopefully in the future, we can do an episode with them and learn all about their sour beers and how they do and what they do. Excellent. All right, so you want to jump right into it?
Yes. What I want us to do, since I'm the one that poured them, can we go right to left?
Yeah. You want to go Pittsfield to Boston? No, you said right to left. So you want to go Boston to Pittsfield.
Right.
So
it's more, since we don't have four, it's more like Worcester.
Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah.
They're in the... Go ahead, Rob. Sorry, your podcast.
We're actually using the flight board from the White Lion. If you've never been to White Lion Brewing, it's in downtown Springfield, and if you order a flight, you get 4 5-ounce pours, and it comes on a board that's in the shape of Massachusetts. So when you do get it, they usually say 1 through 4 is Pittsfield to Boston. So we only have 3 beers that we're trying today, so we're going to start it's a little east of Worcester, but from Worcester to Pittsfield.
All right,
Hannah, go ahead.
All right, so first up, everybody, sip it out. Whoa.
All right.
I'm new to this whole flight testing situation, so someone's going to have to cue me in.
Just pick it up, and if you want to give it a sniff or just taste it real quick.
Can you tell us something about the color, though, Court?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a purpley brown color. It looks kind of cloudy. It's kind of like what you would expect, like a milkshake that's melted consistency to look like.
Yeah, perfect.
Good observation.
Perfect.
And it smells fruity, right?
Yeah.
Am I onto something?
Yes, you are. And so she just tasted it. What do you think?
I actually like it.
Excellent.
I like the consistency of it. I like the taste of it. Is it a raspberry?
Well, Hannah has the can, so she's going to describe it, but it is a milkshake sour.
It's a sour.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's called Berry Mallow Crunchee. It has raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, crunchy berry cereal, marshmallow, maple, vanilla, cinnamon, almond, toasted coconut, and milk sugar.
And what's the brewery?
The brewery is Other Half Brewing.
Other Half is in Brooklyn, New York. It's one of my favorite breweries to go to when I go down to Brooklyn. And my brother-in-law actually just moved out of Brooklyn to Boston, and while he was moving out, since I was helping him, I asked him if he would just buy me a case of beer, and this is actually the last can from that case. I was saving it for a special occasion, and I guess this is a special occasion today.
I am honored to be a special occasion.
Excellent. But you really like it.
I do honestly really like it.
It's good.
And it's actually an Imperial Granola Berliner Weisse.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I do not know what that means. That's new. Well, Imperial is basically another word for double.
Okay.
Right? Because it's what, 8%? What's the APV on it? Do we have to look it up online?
All right, ABV is 7.4.
Yes, so since it's a 7.4, it's considered a double, and a fancy way of saying double is Imperial.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I'm going to learn a lot of new things today.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about doubles is that Hannah prefers them. More bang for her buck.
Yes.
Exactly.
They don't always prefer Hannah, but Hannah prefers them.
I'm too shy.
So at this place, they do make a lot of doubles, but they also make a lot of triples too.
They can make triples. Are there regulations on if they can sell triples because of the alcohol content?
That I don't know. I've never seen anything larger than a triple.
That makes sense.
I mean, there's definitely a difference in if you get it poured at a brewery, the cup is smaller. But in terms of buying cans, I don't think there is.
You know, actually, there's got to be some regulations on it, because when we were at the Big E this year, we went to the Sam Adams Garden and we had their barrel-aged beer. And I'm pretty sure you can't sell it in a bunch of different states across the country. But Massachusetts is one of them. It was like 20% or something like that, or was it 30%?
That's what I was wondering, if there was a cutoff of like after a certain percentage of alcohol by volume, if it became a different type of alcohol because of that level.
But it was still considered a beer.
Okay.
And we paid $20 for a 1 ounce pour.
Holy moly.
Yeah, but I mean,
how long was it barrel aged for? Did you say that?
It ranges. So when Sam Adams puts it together, they take different ages of the beer. The oldest one being 30 years old, and then it didn't say what the newest was, but they said they take a bunch of them and blend them together to formulate the drink.
That's
beer.
a lot of history in one drink.
Yeah,
in 1 ounce. That's a lot of history.
Definitely.
That's cool.
And the regular bottle retails for like $300, $400. So
that's crazy. When we went to West Virginia, we went to Man Cave Distillery, I think it was, and they let us sample all of the different, like, they had whiskey, they had rum, they had literally gin, they had every single thing. And they had one that we brought my dad, a bourbon that was, I think, an 8 or 10 year barrel aged bourbon.
Yummy.
And was like, I'm like, no, that's good. He's not a bourbon guy though. So
yeah.
It was good for me, but not so good for him.
Yeah.
30's a lot longer than 8.
Yay. I'm glad we found a beer that you like.
Yeah, she's had more than one sip. This is awesome.
I know. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't drink all of it right now, but
we're going to have to take a trip down to Brooklyn and go to the brewery.
And you know what's interesting is out of the beers that I have tried that I have liked in the past, it's never a sour. Ever.
You've never had a sour
I've
whatsoever?
I've had them, but I usually am like, no, I don't like that. I usually make that exact face. That's what it looks like.
We definitely should go to Kismet then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would definitely like Kismet.
I like it when you can do the sampling. I don't like when you have to go someplace and you have to pick like one beer and you're like, okay, I hate it. You take one sip and you're like, okay, I'm not going to drink this. This is terrible. I guess I wouldn't have that problem with you guys because you guys like different things.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you go with some people who won't drink things and you're like, oh, I don't like it. And then it just sits there.
Excellent.
On to the next. Number 2.
You want to do number 2?
What area is this in? You have to tell us.
I guess this is... Wait, Palmer. No,
I'd say this is like Springfield.
Palmer is in between. Palmer doesn't get its own thing.
Springfield's down here.
No, Springfield's not down here. This is probably going to be like Amherst.
Okay. So it should be good then if it's Amherst, right?
All right.
Not saying the beer comes from Amherst, but...
This one.
Yeah, describe the color.
This one is a little bit darker, yellow-orange, a little brown. It's got some head on there, right? That's what it's called.
Yes, a little head.
And it's not quite clear, but it's not as milkshakey looking as the other one. Mm-hmm. It smells like beer. And it smells like I dripped it on myself.
Oh, no. What do you think? Just taking a whiff. Another sip.
I probably wouldn't order it,
Of course.
but it's not bad.
Okay.
It has a lighter taste to it than the other one.
Definitely.
What is that one?
This one actually comes from White Lion,
Oh,
and Hannah is going to tell us about it.
Tropical Secrets, Mango, Peach, and Guava Golden Ale. So you're right, it is lower. It's a 4.8 for the alcohol volume. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's brewed right here in
Springfield, Massachusetts. Yeah, it's not my go-to.
It's not my go-to either.
But it's a good, easy drinker.
yeah, it goes down nice.
A good mower beer, as some people would call it. You know, nice and light. You can crush a bunch of them back and not feel shitty.
Depends on how many you crush back. Right?
Yeah.
I have to go in for a second round sip.
Well, from this one and the first one, how would you... 1 out of 5 rating?
5 being the highest.
Yeah.
I would give the first one a 4.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
I like the taste. I like the aftertaste. I like... it's going to sound terrible on a beer podcast, but I like that it doesn't necessarily have that traditional like beer taste to it. It has a different taste. There's a lot of different notes that you can taste. The second one, I would put it somewhere around a 2, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't go back for it, but if it was the only thing there, I would drink it. Mm-hmm. It's not like, nope, that's a no from me.
Yeah. I actually, it's a little secret. I do work at White Lion Brewing. I pour some beer there, and people always have mixed feelings about this Tropical Secret one. Either they don't like it or they really like it. You know, I
don't
really
taste anything
love
tropical in there.
Yeah, there is a hint of tropics in there. You know,
Okay, yeah. It's not bold, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a light beer. It's
It's not supposed to be bold.
It's not Bud Light. It's not Coors Light.
No, it's better than those.
It's a step up from that because it has the citrusy flavors
Yeah.
coming through.
Yeah, I won't drink Bud Light. So if I said I would drink it if it was there, it's a good sign.
Hannah, how you feel about it?
I am not a fan.
Did you drink it?
I had a sip.
You just had a sip.
Just, because I'm playing along here.
How you feel?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? It's
No.
too light for you?
It's not that it's light. I just don't like the aftertaste.
There is a distinct aftertaste with that one, I
Yeah.
will say.
Yeah,
That's
not
where
a
I
fan.
think it has that. Again, it doesn't taste like a Bud Light, but it has that Bud Light type aftertaste where you're like,
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like Coors Light. I know. So, I mean,
no.
I'll drink any types of beer. Really any. There's nothing I won't drink. I'm not a huge fan of like the stouts or the porters because I just find them too heavy.
I was just going to say, those are the heavier ones, right?
So I would drink like a 5 ounce of those.
Right.
But that's about it. This one, I could have quite a few of them and,
You wouldn't say no.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be the first choice if you had it in a lineup, but you wouldn't say no if someone tried to hand it to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. All right, Hannah,
Number 3.
you ready for the last one? Number 3?
Number 3.
Nom, 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 nom.
On the whole tray right here, this is Hannah's favorite.
It is.
So this one is more yellow than the second one. Still cloudy. Still can't see through it. Still a little bit of head on it.
We would call this hazy.
Hazy. Okay. It smells fruity. It smells almost lemonade-y. Like getting a little lemon in there.
Citrusy? She took her first sip.
Oh, that is a no.
Oh, you do not like it.
No.
All right.
Nope. That's my first no.
All right, Hannah. So what is that?
It's the Marcus Camby New England IPA, which is
why.
a staple for White Lion Brewing Company. They actually made this with Camby, who is known for basketball, if you guys from UMass know the area, because he went to UMass, right?
So the thing is, we're in Springfield, Massachusetts. The brewery is based in Springfield, Massachusetts. We have the Basketball Hall of Fame here. Marcus Camby is from Springfield, and he went to UMass, and he played a little bit in the NBA. So he helped to make this beer with White Lion.
And it's a 6.4.
6.4.
That's why Hannah likes it.
Yeah.
I do like the Marcus Camby.
So is that your favorite from them?
Yes, for just a regular New England IPA. Marcus is always my go-to. And I love it so much that I had a can not too long ago, and I was like, there is something off with this beer. And come to find out, there was something off with the beer.
Yep.
And I knew it, so.
I had mentioned it to the brewer there, Mike Yates, and he said, let me taste it. And he tasted it, and he said, yeah, there is something wrong. Make sure you tell Hannah that she has a good palate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is tasting generally part of their process of brewing? Like not just with White Lion, but in general, is that part of like their process? Like whenever they brew a new batch?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'd say it would always
you,
have differences.
Once you can it and, keg it, working at a brewery, usually at the end of the shift, you can have a beer.
Yeah.
He tends to go for the ones that are fairly new. So he can taste the product. He can make sure that, what he's brewing is the best product that he's putting out.
Right. Yeah. And make sure that there's not something wrong with it, right?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
different about it. I won't say wrong. Wrong implies that it's bad, but something different about it.
Like a couple episodes ago, we interviewed Mark Avery from 2 Weeks Notice. He says he brings home beers all the time, just so he can, taste them and, see how good he's doing or if there's a bad batch. There was one batch that he said that was horrible that they ended up throwing out the whole thing because there was something completely wrong with it. I mean, it tasted like poo-poo.
Brewing is hard. I know my dad, when I was a kid, used to brew his own beer. And I know it was quite a process. Like, so for my 21st birthday, he brewed me my own 21st birthday batch and created his own label for them.
Oh, that's cute.
I love him dearly. I'm sorry if you're listening, Dad. I can't drink it. I have all of them because I have the bottle, but I remember being not a beer drinker, trying to drink it and being like, no.
So you still have it?
I do. I don't know how good it would be because I'm 30 and it was brewed.
Is it in the fridge or is it just...
Oh, no.
Oh.
So you have a bottle of beer that your father brewed when you turned 21.
He brewed me a whole 6-pack and put these little labels on it.
That's so cute.
I was in the first grade play. I was Little Bo Peep, and he took a picture of the two of us from when I was Little Bo Peep and made it the label. I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll send you guys.
That's funny. That's awesome.
That's what he did for my 21st birthday gift.
That's cool.
You know what's interesting? I was a sheep in a play when I was in kindergarten.
Destined to be best friends.
Definitely.
Right?
I was Little Bo Peep and I lost my sheep and I didn't know where to find them. And I had a whole song I sang about it.
You found your sheep.
No, I was a sheep and, well, it was, obviously for a Christmas play because, Christian school and all that. But yeah, I was a sheep and I had a little black nose. I should find that picture.
We should like merge the pictures together.
You found me.
Well, speaking of merged pictures, have you ever looked on our fridge?
Yeah.
There is a picture of Hannah when she was 2 years old in one of those plastic swimming pools with just a diaper on. And then I have a picture of myself when I was 2 years old in one of those plastic pools on with just a diaper on.
Oh. And we're making that same face of...
Yeah, exactly.
I think for your birthdays, you guys should do updated pictures of you with just a diaper on. New profile picture. New profile picture.
That's funny.
I wonder if JCPenney would let us do that.
I think you might need to hire a private photographer if you're going to be naked in diapers.
All right. So you had given the first one from Brooklyn a 4.
Yep.
The second one from White Lion, The Tropical Secrets, a 2. Now, you said you didn't like the last one.
Correct.
Re-rate them all based on tasting them all, because I feel like the second one's going to get a better rating.
Yeah. So I would say I'm going to keep the first one at a 4. The second one I would bump to a 3.
Okay.
And then I would give the last one a 1.
Okay.
Because I don't ever believe in 0. Like just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for somebody.
Right.
It's just based off of my palate. I know I tend to like things sweet. Even with my ciders, I like things sweet. Even with like, non-alcoholic teas and things, I like them sweet. So I think for me, it just didn't play into my palate. It was a little bit more sour and citrusy. I'm also not a huge citrus fan. So,
Hannah, how would you rate the 3 beers?
Well, the Camby I love, so I'll definitely give that a 4.
A 4 out of 5?
Yes. The Tropical Secrets, can you give it a 0?
It's 1 out of 5.
All right, I'll give it a 1.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't like the sour or the Weiss, however you want to say it. It's just not my jam. So, I mean, if I had to drink it, I'd probably give it like 3.
Yeah.
what about you? What would you rate?
So the Marcus Camby is a 4 out of 5. The Tropical Secrets, I would give that, probably a 2.5, 2.5.
Okay.
And then this last one from Brooklyn, what's it called again?
Berry Mallow Crunchee.
Berry Mallow Crunchee. So from the other half, Berry Mallow Crunchee, I would give this probably a 4 as well.
Yeah, I
as
like
the Marcus Camby.
Sorry, I was hoping to find the picture of me as a sheep. I'll have to look. My mom.
I'm
probably
sure
has a
your mother
photo
has
somewhere,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this
exactly.
distinct memory of like someone had their like walker on the side of the pew, and we had to like crawl down the aisle, and I crawled through their walker. Like, why did I think that was a good idea? I don't know, but I remember distinctly walking through the walker.
Because you were in kindergarten.
Yes.
And they let you crawl on the floor.
Oh.
All right. Well, I finished my 3 samples. Have you ladies finished yours?
Nope.
No, I'm still working on my clear favorite here.
Do you want this one?
Yeah, I'll definitely take it. So, well, Courtney, thank you very much for coming on. Hannah, thank you again.
Anytime.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you girls enjoyed your beers.
Are you guys going to do ciders on Beers That FITZ?
We can, yeah.
I would be interested in helping you set up one of those because I
Yeah.
like ciders.
Yeah, I can reach out to a cider. I don't know, what do they call them? Cider breweries or cider distilleries?
I think it depends on who's doing it.
Okay.
Honestly, I think there's a local one to Sturbridge,
Okay.
actually.
Well, you live out that way, so.
Yeah. I used to know somebody who worked at a different place with me that I can look into where they are.
We'll
Maybe
connect.
we should call it Brews That FITZ.
Brews That FITZ?
Yeah. Because
Too late. Sorry to
Too
Beers.
late. I already bought the domain for Beers That FITZ.
Beer, cider, people lump them together all the time.
Exactly.
Still counts.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll check you later.
Bye.
Slanja.
Bye. Thanks for
Slanja.
having us.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Beers That FITZ. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the world of craft beer. Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for all updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more. And remember, new episodes drop every Thursday, so be sure to join us next week for another great conversation with the people behind your favorite brews. Until then, grab a pint, enjoy, and cheers to good times and great beers. Slanja.